are back. Family Enduro Race in Roselawn, Indiana. The winters here in the Midwest are just too long, but we were blessed with some perfect riding conditions here today. Riding the Saturday event with my dad and two of my daughters, Alexis and Reagan. So the Family Enduro Series is a timekeeping format, so we did 3 loops of 12 miles, and the first loop was at a 12-mile-an-hour pace, so I'm out in the lead trying to set a nice smooth 12-mile-an-hour pace here for everybody to follow so that we don't come in too early to any of the checks. Ultimately, I realized that we weren't going to keep up quite with that 12-mile-an-hour pace by the time we account for tip overs and log crossings and things like that. These little 65 and 50 cc bikes have a hard time going over some of this terrain, and being the first ride of the year, the girls were a little timid at first, so it took them a little bit to get going, but overall we had a great time here today. We're now following Alexis on her KTM 65. She rode this event last year, her first Family Enduro, and really struggled with clutch control and going through some of the more technical aspects of the trail, and just following her and watching the improvement from 1 year ago was amazing, really. Reagan's close behind us here on her 50. Unfortunately, I didn't get much footage of her other than right there at the beginning. You got to see her at the start, but she had some bike issues midway through lap 1 here and didn't complete the event. So I don't know what's going on. We had a hard time getting started. I think we had a foul plug potentially, but we'll be back and ready for the next one. Some of these branches overhanging the trail were so low I was putting my head on the handlebars to get underneath them. I was comparing Alexis's time to the event that she rode here last year, and she actually completed this loop 24 minutes faster than last year, so big improvement there. I don't know if it's the exact course. I know we ran it backwards compared to last year, but as far as I could tell, it looked like pretty similar trail, pretty similar length, but I know I didn't have to pick her bike up nearly as many times as I did last year, so she likes to joke and laugh a little bit. She hit a tree last year so hard she actually knocked it over. It fell. So kind of an inside joke between her and I. We did capture it on video even. So big improvements, and she's standing up, going over logs, and techniques improved immensely. Definitely a race you wanted handguards for. There were a lot of saplings that got mowed over and taken down throughout the day on this trail. Tight there.
Back up. You got back up. There you go.
I had the conversation with her after the race to focus on the trail ahead and not look back and listen for the bikes behind you. If you hear a bike that's either revving or somebody's hollering to get by, you pull over, but you don't need to look back as much as she was doing. So I found her looking back to see if I was still there or if somebody else was there, and when she did that, she got herself into trouble a few times, either hitting a tree or going off course a little bit. So you gotta use all your senses, listen instead of turning around and looking back. Just focus on the trail ahead. So we'll look to see if that improves over the year. Cool thing about this series, everybody out here is willing to help. So this rider was behind Alexis and helped her get her bike back up and back on course here. There were several people out here today that I saw doing this, helping other riders, and it's a great series to get your kids started into racing if it's something that you're looking to introduce to them. I would start with this Family Enduro Series because everybody's super friendly, willing to give a hand if needed. If you're unfamiliar with it, ask somebody about the format before. You'll be hard pressed to find somebody that's not willing to help you out.
You gotta give it gas.
So as I look at the schedule, we're going to be doing some family enduro and some big enduros with Braden and I. We're going to be hare scramble racing next week, doing some Grand Prix, some sprint enduros. This race actually conflicted with Sprint Enduro Series that we typically run, but you know, I think it's important to get out here and ride with the kids alongside of them. So we chose this event over running the Sprint Enduro race, which was kind of bittersweet because I enjoy those, and that's a great series also. But we couldn't be in two places at once, so that was our choice this time, and we'll be at some of those events later in the year as well. Good riders will find their way around the slower riders. You saw there, they just kind of took a little bit of a hot line, went out and around. Lexus didn't have to pull off. Everybody just kept on going their merry way. We're just coming up here to the end of the wood section, coming out into a field here, finishing up the segment and completing, this was the first loop of the day here at the 12-mile-an-hour speed here. So thanks to all of the volunteers who helped put this event on. District 14, District 17, I think this is a co-sponsored event, and we'll see you guys next year. Thanks for watching, guys.